Hey y'all, welcome to Fitting and Homemaking. My name is Sarah, and today's an exciting day for us because we are getting a new range and oven. So why are we doing that? This one's not working well for us anymore. So this burner here was our favorite burner, which if you know, you know, right? That's an adult thing, having a favorite burner on your stove if you cook even remotely often. But this was our big 12-inch burner, and the middle part of the burner stopped working quite a while ago. I want to say like 9 months ago. Occasionally the buttons up here will stop working, which is not great. We have been able to fix that once or twice, or I should say my husband's been able to fix that once or twice, you know, just by YouTubing the issue and getting it sorted out. But yeah, the buttons randomly don't work. And then inside the oven itself, the coil, the electric coil that is attached to the top of the oven, both screws now, these guys, have fallen out, and these are pretty rusty. And the first one fell out, I don't know, like it's been up here a while. I feel like it's been 3 to 6 months. And the second one fell out last weekend, and that was kind of like the last straw for me, because now that coil is not attached to the top of the oven at all. It's just attached at the back. So yeah, it's kind of hanging down in there. I'll show you in a minute. And it doesn't really feel safe to cook with that, because when I put the screws back in, like the screws seem okay if rusty, but the holes that we're screwing them into, they're just completely rusted out. So as soon as I screwed them in, they just immediately fall back out. Like there's no way to secure that to the top of the inside of the oven anymore unless we actually drill new holes, and that seems excessive, especially since this burner is not working. We're going to try to repair this burner, but to do that, to get the glass top up, there are screws underneath here. Those screws will not come out. They will turn, but they just turn in place until infinity turning times, right? So we can't even access it to fix it unless we drill out the screws and replace the screws. And since so many things with this oven are malfunctioning now, we just decided it was time to get a new one. Also, in America this past weekend was President's Day. And usually there are lots of appliance sales on President's Day. So it just seemed like a good time to go ahead and bite the bullet and get a new oven and range. Because of the President's Day sale, the one that we got was about $400 off, which I thought was a decent amount of savings. It was still not cheap, but it was $400 cheaper than its normal price. So the new oven is coming today. So I've gone ahead and I've cleaned off the oven a little bit so that the people who are installing the new oven and hauling this one away don't get too grossed out. And they're supposed to come between 11:30 and 3:30 today. So we will have a new oven to cook our traditional Friday evening pizza dinner that we always have, that the kids love. So excited for that. What I'm not excited about is in the delivery installation instructions, it said that this needed to be detached before the delivery folks get here. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to do that, because I'm not really certain where my husband is off to. He's on vacation today, but I dropped the kids off at daycare and came back and he was gone, and I texted him and he might just be like hiking in the woods somewhere without his phone on. So I don't know if he'll be back in time to detach this, because I know he knows how to detach it from the wall and pull it out. So hopefully I can figure that out. If not, hopefully the delivery folks will take pity on me and be very nice and help me out with it. I feel like usually they are pretty nice, the folks that they send into your homes. So yeah, let me show you the inside coil, what I'm talking about. The new oven is going to be somewhat similar. It's a glass top electric range and oven combo. It has 5 burners on the top like this one does. It has the big 12-inch burner. One thing that I think my husband is gonna like about it more than this one is the controls for the burners are these like 5 buttons over here, and I'll give you a close-up view of the panel. which has always been a bit weird, and he's never really liked that. So the new one actually has knobs to control the burners on the stovetop, and the knobs are back here. I made sure that I got one where the controls were out of reach of the kids, right, just for safety purposes. I'm sure if they put them on the front, there's probably a lock or something that you can put on them, but I feel like unless you have a gas range, there is no reason to put them on the front. Like if you've got a gas range, I understand maybe you're not wanting to reach over while you're turning on fire, like underneath your arm, right? But with an electric stove, that's, you know, that's not an issue. So that's one difference. But the new one also has like a few more things. This is a conventional oven and a convection oven, so the new one also has that. But because of like developments in air fryers and that sort of thing, I think it also has an air fry function, which is essentially, from my understanding, a convection oven baking. Like that's essentially what an air fryer is, right? So once the new oven is in, I will show you that. But let me go ahead and show you the coil on the inside that was problematic, and the reason, the kind of last straw reason of why we're actually getting this replaced today. So you can see that these are hanging down by quite a bit. They're supposed to be way up here. And then in the back here, that's the only thing that's holding the coil up, and you can see it looks like it's pretty rusted. So that's what we're doing. All right, y'all, here she is in all her glory. I was able to get her pulled out actually fairly easily. And I forgot, I said I was going to show you guys the display panel. So this is the portion that my husband's never really liked about this, but it came with the house, so that was nice. And sometimes these buttons over here don't work. You can see how pressed the bake button is. It's a little cracked around it because we press it so much, because that's essentially the on button. To get this out, I literally just slid it out. You can see the little foot back there, that the back, what is that? That the back left side kind of foot slides into, and that keeps it from tipping over, and it's just literally a plug on the ground. And there's the plug. So hopefully that will be easy for them to take away now that it has been properly uninstalled for them. And it will be a quick transition. Next time I talk to you, we'll have a new oven in here. All right, y'all, the new oven is in. I'm so excited that we can use this again. I'll get you a close-up view in just a minute. But yeah, my delivery window was between 11:30 and in the morning and 3:30 in the afternoon. And as you can see, it's about 2:30. They installed this about an hour ago, and then my husband kind of tried to level it with the countertop and that sort of thing. It looks like it's a little bit high, but that's fine. And we have our knobs here. We've got the time set. We've got our big burner here. They turned on all of the burners so I could see that they were all working before they left. The drawer on the bottom is actually quite a bit bigger than the drawer we had before, so maybe we can actually put some useful things in there to store, and clear out the cabinets a little bit. That might be good. And let me get you so that you can have a closer up look. All right, so here's what it looks like. Sorry for my reflection there. Here, I'll try to go to the side so you can see a little bit better. But this one is a large burner in the front, so it's got, if you can see, the smaller 6-inch, and then this is a 9-inch, and over here we have a 9-inch and a 12-inch. So that's why on this knob you can go one way for the small burner and another way for the large burner, which is both the small burner and the large burner, and then just the normal knobs for our back burners. And here's that other one that's a dual burner. Here are some of the options that we have. So they have some no preheat options and an air fry option and a fresh reheat. So we'll see if we use those other than just the bake. Now this is a convection oven too. Oh, convection, duh, Sarah. I was gonna say, I don't see that one, but it's literally right there under the bake. Not sure how I missed that. And apparently you can lock the controls, but these are up away from the kids, so I don't know that we'll need to do that. Looking inside, ooh. Obviously we will need to switch our oven racks, but look, it's actually properly attached to the ceiling there. And then this was a feature of this that I was just kind of meh, whatever. But it's an easy wash removable tray, so you just lift it up. Wow, that's loud. And you can see it actually fully comes out, but I don't want to lift it up with just one hand. And you can see the burner under there. Ooh, is there styrofoam under there? Is that why it was making that screechy sound? I'll have to pull that out and double check before we turn it on, because that would suck if I turn it on and if there was styrofoam in there. So we will arrange the oven racks a little bit better when we first use it. And then the drawer down here, ooh, my husband did, I don't think he sat back on the track. Nope. My husband pulled this out to level it in the back there after he pushed it back, so I'll have to get that back on the track. But this is, we'll also take this out so it doesn't melt. Oh, there's the bracket that we were looking for. But yeah, this is a much bigger drawer than the drawer we had before, so hopefully we can put some useful stuff in here. But I'm just gonna slide that back in for now, if I can. There we go. So we had guys install this, but because the old bracket was back there, they wouldn't take it out. And I literally asked them when they came in, I said, hey, do you need me to remove that so that you can install a new one? And they said no. And then they told me, hey, we can't touch that. I'm just like, I literally asked you like 15 minutes ago if you needed me to take that out for you. So, ooh, sorry. It's very squeaky. Okay, I guess there isn't, oh my gosh, I will definitely bring the volume down on that. That's a little bit too much. I guess it was just metal on metal, but you're supposed to be able to put this in the dishwasher or just like rinse it off in the sink so that it's way easier to clean. We'll see how that goes. Let me take a look at this drawer. I'm gonna go over here. Because yeah, that probably shouldn't just be, is that just sitting on there? I guess maybe it is. Jeez, there's another thing taped in here. Okay. Make sure all of that stuff is out. I mean, I guess it just bounces on there. There it goes. All right, so that is not the highest quality drawer on earth. I'll get these, put them aside. My husband to look at that. Yeah, not the highest quality drawer on earth. The inside of the oven looks good though. And it does have the scan now. Sorry, I'm gonna adjust the camera. I don't wanna squat down. It does have this scan now QR code. Apparently it's a smart appliance. I do not know why on earth I would need to control the oven from my phone, because I feel like, I guess maybe if you leave and you've forgotten to turn it off and you want to check to make sure it's off. But it's not like I'm going to preheat an oven before I get home, because I'd be worried about the fire risk of that. Although I can see how that'd be useful. I'd still be too scared of fire risk for that. But I might go and check that out and see what that's about. But otherwise, it's pretty simple controls, it looks like. And hopefully tonight it will make very delicious pizza. That's gonna be it for today's video. Thanks for joining me on this little surprise house project, because things break and you have to replace them when you're a homeowner. Please comment, like, subscribe, do all the things, and I will see you the next time. Bye.